Welcome back. I wanted to talk about the El Nino situation here in Ecuador as it has officially been declared over by the government and by scientists. I would assume around the world, but definitely here, they're saying that it's over. And I can definitely say that when we left to go on our trip to Alaska, our cruise, it was still hot here in Salinas. We basically had summer for an entire year. No winter. It never cooled off. It was just sunny and hot most days because of the El Nino situation, and it was pretty severe as far as the El Ninos go. And when we got back, we were only gone about 2.5 weeks, and when we got back, the temperature was completely different. Like it's so cool now. It's really actually kind of wonderful. Um, yeah, we miss a little bit more of the sun, but it still feels great outside. And it's an immediate difference from how it was when we left. And it's just funny that, according to the news, on June 1st, they declared that the El Nino was over. And they specifically talk about how the temperatures changed in the last 2 weeks. So what's happening is that, of course, the El Ninos, I'm not a scientist. There's a bunch of reasons for it and how it comes about and what constitutes an El Nino season. Just know that according to all the measurements and everything, that it's pretty much done as of now, and things are going to normal. And what they're saying is that it's actually going to be a little bit cooler. The water temperature is going to be a little bit cooler, about 1 degree to 1.5 degrees Celsius than what's normal, which means we're going to have a cooler winter. And they think that by June, they'll have more information. They'll be able to predict exactly where it's going to be later on in the year when summer rolls around. They're predicting that the summer may be cooler than normal because of a La Niña. Now, go back into La Niña, that means it may get more rain here or not, I'm not sure. But there's definitely going to be a change. So as we basically lived an entire year in summer here, this year we're apparently going to have a more normal winter. Also with that change in weather pattern, there's been more rain in the Andes. I believe that's one of the reasons they kind of put off some of the power cuts, but they're supposed to be coming back, but we'll see. So while I'm talking about this, let me read something here from the news about the El Nino and the La Nina. So the La Nina is an atmospheric phenomenon that affects temperature worldwide, and in a certain way it complements El Nino since both occur in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. The difference between them is that El Nino occurs more frequently and can bring warm conditions, while La Nina, on the contrary, brings colder conditions. When La Nina occurs, as with El Nino, the position of the air currents changes. In the case of the first, the winds are directed north, and warm and dry conditions are experienced in the southern United States, while in the north, the climate is colder and wetter. In addition, areas of Australia and Asia are observed with higher than usual humidity levels. During La Nina, light winds in the Atlantic are more common. This can lead to the formation of more storms, which become stronger and can hit coastal areas. That actually makes sense because in the U.S., the weather services are predicting a very active hurricane season this year. However, in Ecuador, La Nina generally causes a decrease in rainfall on the coast, generating drought as a direct consequence. It doesn't rain here a lot to begin with. Usually we get the most rain in the beginning of the year. Didn't rain too much this year because of the El Nino. But we'll see what happens, I guess, this next following in 2025. Scientists and meteorologists use several methods to detect La Nina, typically using satellites and floating buoys to monitor sea level and determine whether it has risen or fallen. So yeah, basically we'll see how the weather is different this season and this year. Hopefully it stays nice and cool. Actually, I'm kind of hoping that it dries. The air, even though it's really cool, the air is really damp. Like it's noticeably damp. Typically here, there's a lot of moisture in the air, but you really don't feel it. It's not like the U.S., like the southern U.S. or anything like that, like you would expect in South America. It's kind of strange. I guess the dew points must be different. So it's not, here in Salinas specifically, I can't speak for everywhere, but here in Salinas, it's not muggy when you go outside, even when it's sunny and hot. But there's a lot of moisture in the air. So it's almost one of those things you don't really notice at first unless you try to dry something outside, and it takes forever to get dry. Like it just doesn't dry unless it's in direct sunlight, and even then it takes a long time. But I'm hoping that this weather, since it's changed, you can feel the dampness in the air a little bit. Otherwise it feels great. So hopefully some of the dampness goes away. Maybe it'll dry up a little. It doesn't rain here much anyway, so that we're not really missing much there. So anyway, just wanted to give that little weather. You can call me Weatherman Steve or whatever. I don't care. But I'm gonna give you that little update. So thanks for watching. Bye.